Speaking of fixing things, what are we going to do with Monsanto? Seems like they sign agreements with about every seed company on the face of the earth. And this year they're talking like $250 each.
So you're saying maybe it's not all completely competitive out there?
What's going to happen with that company? Are we going to just kind of take whatever they say?
There's always folks looking over their shoulder pretty hard as far as competitive issues. They're pretty good at understanding what the laws allow and what they don't.
I figure Monsanto had all them guys bought and paid for it.
It's really hard to know. It's one of those things. We all know this stuff is different than it used to be, and it's better, and we're willing to pay for some of that difference. And it's okay now. The challenge is going to be a year or two from now if we start getting some pushback on price, and we all of a sudden slip our prices back to, a measly $3 or $3.50 a bushel, which used to be twice as much as we ever thought we'd need. If we did that, we're going to be a whirler with the input costs that we have now, fertilizer costs, with the seed costs, with laying costs that won't ratchet down very quick. This thing has a potential of flipping on us pretty fast, and certainly there'll be a lot of battle over that portion of it as well. But machinery costs too. I mean, just obviously fuel costs. Steel costs more than it used to, and they're not having to cheapen things up to get us to buy something. You got to wait in line.
Competition there, though.
What's that? Yeah, you got some competition. Absolutely. So, I guess part of what, when I get around and talk to some of the non-ag groups, there's folks out there thinking, farmers, all they listen to is markets. And they know we never. They never got more than $2.50 for their crop, and now these farmers are getting $5. They're just rich. They're just pouring it on. And then you start talking to them about all the stuff that's changing. One of the things I tell them is there's an unsettledness in agriculture. I mean, we're not going back. We don't want to go back. The 80s were pretty predictable. We'll say that every day was going to be just as bad as the day before. It was ugly, but it was predictable. I guess that's the best thing we could say for it. We don't want to go back to that. We're not going to. We couldn't if we wanted to. Now, for the most part, at least where we're at right now, who knows how long, it's better, but talk about unpredictable. These markets bounce around like crazy. I talk to landlords too. Landlords will say the same thing. What should I be asking for cash rent? I got a great tenant that has farmed my farm for 20 years. His kid is coming back. I want to do it right by him. He farms it like he owns it. And I love it. I don't want to be charging $80 too little, but I don't want to be charging $80 too much. What should rent be? I don't know. Depends whether you sold corn last fall for $4, or you sold it, 2 months ago for $7, or you sold it again 3 weeks ago for $4 1/4, or you sold it, now for $5, or you bought anhydrous ammonia for $800 a ton in the spring that you're going to put on this fall, or now $1,200 a ton. What is the right price? I don't know. I don't know what the right price is, and that's where you talk to machinery dealers, and you talk to you talk to car dealers, and they're saying farmers are kind of battening down the hatches just a little bit. They're saying, I'm going to wait and see where this thing settles out before I buy too much more stuff. Some are, anyway. I don't know where it's all going to go. I don't know whether this is the beginning of another ugly time, or whether this is, the beginning of a new plateau, and we're going to be back over cost for a while, or just this nervousness out there in all of us. And I don't know what's right.
Well, it just seems like Monsanto's getting awful big. It's hard to even find a conventional bean that's Roundup ready if you wanted to avoid the tech bees.
There's some out there, but it's not
pretty limited.
Yeah.
Maybe one more question, but then you do.
Other question?